You guys picked the green anaconda.
Yeah.
Is there different anacondas?
The only one that I know of right now is the green anaconda, but there's different types of pythons that are related to anacondas.
Yeah, but they're different.
I think they're a type of boa constrictor, the anacondas.
They are, yeah.
Pretty plain anaconda.
So why'd you guys pick that one? I mean, why'd you pick the anaconda? Because it's basically just, I think it's just the anaconda. It's just the name of it, but.
Yeah, well, I just like to do research on snakes, and we couldn't decide whether to do the Jesus lizard or the green anaconda, so we just like looked up both of them, and then we figured out that the green anaconda was a little more detailed and interesting, so we just went with the green anaconda.
Yeah, the Jesus lizard it's called a basilisk. It's called. No, it's
Oh, I saw that on
it's a god
Wild
lizard.
Kratts.
It can walk on water.
They don't walk on water. They're basically a
Run.
lizard that can run down the water, and that's why they call them the Jesus lizard.
It's like a gecko.
They scare me.
No,
It's
not
big.
Bigger than that.
Gecko.
All right, so let's talk about the anaconda.
Okay, well, they can weigh up to 400 pounds. They're mostly green with black spots across their body. They're extremely muscular and stocky. Its head is more narrow than its body, and it has thick, dry, scaly skin, and is usually 10 to 25 feet long.
So hang on, 10 to 25 feet, give you an idea. That's about the length of this classroom.
Yeah, but
They scare me.
they can also get longer. The world's largest anaconda is 40 feet long.
Whoa,
They are
this whole length. So this
Yeah.
one-
How long is
It's
this?
about 30 feet.
And the girth of it was 4.5 feet wide.
Yeah, did you hear that? Say that again.
The girth was 4.5 feet wide, so about as tall as me.
These will eat deer.
Yeah.
They'll eat bigger
What else do you
things
guys
than
have
deer.
for your food web?
They
Like,
eat alligators.
They eat rabbits, turtles, caimans.
Humans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they also consume humans. They eat frogs, jaguars, other anacondas, and panthers.
and you got to think, I mean, it's all about how big they are. You know, the big ones aren't going to eat frogs, but the smaller ones are.
Yeah.
Do humans like really decay to fungi?
Everything does, man. It's broken down by it.
But wouldn't it be in a casket?
Not if you just
Not
got
if you
eaten
die
by
in
an
the wild.
anaconda.
Then, oh, okay. I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, and they also have nostrils on the top of their snout, like up here, so they can breathe while they're underwater.
They actually do that too when they're eating their prey. As they swallow their prey, and so their mouth is completely full, and they actually can breathe through that while they're eating their prey. Somebody else needs to speak as well.
Okay. Their diet. They eat humans, jaguars, panthers, and turtles. They basically eat all the animals that other animals can't eat. They eat all the apex predators. They constrict their prey, so every time they wrap around them, each time the animal that's being constricted breathes, they technically this grip just gets tighter and tighter until it dies.
Let's talk about that for a minute, Shmuel. Basically, when you talk about anacondas and all constrictors, they don't have poison. Okay, its mouth basically does. How does it work, Shmuel? Can you explain it to us a little bit?
Like, there's a diagram actually right here where there's bone back here. It's really long bone, so they can open their mouths to up to 150 degrees.
Yeah. So what that means is basically they can take their mouth and they can open it all the way up to about right here. Okay. And what they do is when they bite. So let's say, I don't know. Let's just say a rat comes by. Will bite, and then it will actually at the same time wrap itself around it. And Shmelk is exactly right. Once the animal breathes, if you breathe out, your lungs collapse, right? And then they actually squeeze a little tighter. And when you try to breathe again, you can't breathe very much. And then that keeps happening until basically you suffocate. That's how they kill you. Yeah.
Isn't it because when you breathe in, you like kind of get a little smaller? And
You're
then,
bigger when you breathe in, and then when you breathe out, you're smaller.
Kind of.
And that's, I mean, as you breathe out, it squeeses tighter and tighter and tighter. And there's really, with an anaconda, there's not much of a way to get out.
And then
you know?
it kind of crushes them.
Yeah, it crushes them. It basically is how you
Big
die is
enough.
from asphyxiation. You suffocate.
Yeah.
I had a friend that, not an anaconda, but he had a small boa constriction. It would wrap itself around his waist, and it would put its head in its pocket, and then it would squeeze like around his waist. Not enough to hurt
Like
him.
a belt?
Kind of like a belt, yeah. But it's a constrictor. That's how they kill their prey. That's just how they work.
You had a pet?
It was a pet. Yeah, he said it was like 3 feet long, which isn't huge, but it's a pretty big
How do you
fish.
get him off?
It wasn't strong enough. I think it just pulled up.
Shall I do it?
All right, go ahead,
Wait,
guys.
second cage.
Did you guys happen to get a picture of it eating anything?
Yeah, we got a picture,
The bottom.
actually.
There it is right here. It's really
Oh,
small.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really small, but it's actually constricting the deer, and the head is like starting to eat it out, so it's
It
pretty.
doesn't pop it off, but it squishes it. But yeah, you can see how it's wrapped all the way around there.
Could it like break your bone just?
It probably could,
It,
yeah.
it crushes you.
And then they usually hunt in the water because it gives them good camouflage.
Yeah, anacondas are in the water a lot. All right, let's tell us a little bit more, guys.
They can live in tropical savannas and tropical grasslands along with the tropical rainforests, and they're semi-aquatic.
What's that mean for everybody that doesn't know?
They can live in the water, but they also can live on the land.
Semi-aquatic, yeah, basically like an alligator kind of. They're in and out of the water all the time.
And they mainly live in marshes and swamps, because it's like, the water is like murkier, like darker. They're native to South America, and their purpose is they keep the population of each other down because they eat each other.
Jackson has a question for you.
What's native mean?
They're originally from there.
Right. Native means that's where their native home is. Like the Native Americans were from here, usually.
Okay, more on the purpose. They keep the population of large subaquatic animals down, like caimans. They keep those animals down.
Now, hang on. I know we had a group in here do caimans. How big are caimans? Jackson.
They're 6 to 8 feet.
So 6 to 8 feet, which roughly that's the size of me plus 2 feet. Okay, and it eats those. So that just gives you an idea of how big of an animal we're talking about here.
That's just the average.
And they keep the population of like large rodents down, like raccoons and like beavers and stuff.
They eat nutria. That's a big one too. You guys know what a nutria is?
Yeah.
It's like a big old rat, basically.
Isn't it like a
Looks like a beaver, kinda.
capybara or whatever that
Yeah,
is?
they're similar.
Is it like a fat rat?
Bigger than that. It's like a beaver.
It's like
beaver.
a pig
Without a
or
big
something.
tail. Yeah, capybara. Yeah.
Okay, and they just keep the biggest animals that nothing else can eat down. And part of the niche is they have hundreds of curved razor sharp teeth that clinch onto their prey so they can't squirm out. They can reproduce as much as 30 times in their lifespan, and they give birth live to their youngs.
That's kind of an interesting thing. Most snakes have eggs, but the larger snakes, like boa constrictors, a lot of times, and the anacondas actually have live births.
We
So
actually
their babies
had,
are alive.
we actually had a picture. Right here. This is some of the.
Sick.
These are some of the babies from the great anaconda.
That's very sick.
It
Yeah.
scares the crap out of me.
That is sick.
And when they're mating, they like get all intertwined like a ball. It's called the mating ball. And they ambush their prey, and young are left to defend for themselves. And
Yeah, you guys had the frog up there. After they give birth to the live young, completely on their own. So like they start eating immediately. I mean, it's not like they have to drink milk or something. As soon as they're born, they're already when they're born. I don't know if you guys found this. They're like
Yeah.
2 or 3 feet long when they're born, and then they can already eat frogs and small things like that.
a single female can produce 100 babies in one time, and they're nocturnal and spend daytime sleeping.
Smelk, why do you think they produce so many young at once?
Because most of them are gonna die.
Yeah, the vast majority of them die. It's just like fish. I mean, fish will lay thousands of eggs at one time because most of them don't make it. So they increase the odds of making it by having a lot.
That's really sad.
That's how it works, Jackson.
And if you can see, we have a couple of other pictures up close. Like here's one, and the girth on this one is pretty big. It's one of the larger anacondas on here, along with this one, and that one. That one's really up close. I would hate to be that guy. And like I said, they can unhinge their jaws up to, or their girth. I'm sorry, their girth can be up to 44 inches wide. So
It's almost
that's
4
just
feet.
the average of them.
Good question back here, guys.
Then Jackson.
What's girth?
Girth is like how wide they can get and how big they can get.
How big around?
Like the biggest anaconda or one of the babies are about this big when they get to start growing up, and
4 feet in diameter is roughly a hula hoop.
Whoa.
So
they're huge.
Jeez.
So it's
How
basically
round
small.
they are?
That's pretty
Yeah.
scary.
that's how wide they'd be, like
Yeah, it's about
this
as
way.
wide as this room and it's about as big as a hula hoop around.
Yeah, if it was
Oh.
laying here, and that's, I mean, you're talking about, that's as big as they get, but, I mean, you're talking about an animal that's gonna be,
Oh,
you know, that wide.
that's
I don't
pretty
want to
scary.
see that. It'd be sad.
They actually have all kinds of horror movies about anacondas.
Yeah.
I've saw
If
that.
I ever go
They're
in the
terrible, but they
That
have
would be a horror movie just looking at it.
I'm
What
pretty
was
sure
solid?
a shotgun.
Oh, a shotgun isn't gonna
No.
kill a 45-foot anaconda.
Maybe.
shoot in the face. Alright, let's
You
finish
get to
up.
its face.
Finish up. Shmelka or Makayla, what else do we got? Anything else that you guys want to show us? Any really cool pictures besides the ones that we've already kind of seen?
No.
No? Okay.
Well,
Question?
Close to anaconda, you're pretty much dead.
What?
If
Yeah.
If you're close enough to get this picture, you're pretty much dead, unless it's already dead.
Big G, you got one?
What's the biggest snake? The biggest snake that they found for a green anaconda is roughly 49 feet long and 5.5 feet wide. So
It's gotten bigger and wider since earlier, but that's alright.
well,
It's like my fishing stories. Going back to what Big G asked, this is the biggest type of snake though in the world. I think that's what you meant, wasn't it? Yeah, this kind of snake gets bigger than all the other ones.
Isn't it most time when they find them that big, they're already dead?
Yeah, I mean, I know I've seen
'Cause
one.
otherwise you couldn't really measure it.
I've seen one where there was a guy, there was probably 10 or 15 guys in a row, and they
Yeah,
were all
holding
holding
it.
up a section
Oh,
of
I
it.
saw that picture.
And,
Just
you know,
one part.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it was
How
dead.
did it get that big?
They live for a long time, and they just feed and feed and feed.
they caught a 49-foot python in Indonesia.
Yeah.
It was alive still too when they caught it.
Python or anaconda?
Python. They caught
How
python.
how do you like catch it?
You just net them basically.
Yeah.
How long do they live?
Tranquilize
Put 'em
them.
in a cage.
I don't know how long you can stop.